Before we start the video, I would like to say any build that you go is fine. If that build's helping you win ranks, or if that build is helping you within PvP situations, that's fine. I'm just making this video for people who are new to Fist, or who want to return to Fist. Make sure you guys do subscribe. We only need a couple more subscribers before we reach 1K. 3% of you that watch my videos are not subscribed and the rest are not, so make sure you do subscribe. It really does help me make these guide videos, and it can also help you get an entry within the giveaway I am doing. I will link the link to that video in the description below, so make sure you do watch it so you know what you have to do to enter the giveaway. And let's start with the Fist guide. So before we get into the playstyles of Fist, there are talents you want to go with Fist. Now, there is a obvious talent you want to go, aerial kick. And I don't really need to explain, when you're going any type of atonement except for heavy, you want to get the aerial moves so that you'll be able to have the most mobility and you'll be able to get a combo started off without having to really, do much. The other talents that you want to go with Fist vary on which type of Fist style you're playing. There are people who play Fist Gun, there are people who play Fist Shield, and there are also people who play Fist Parry Dagger. And I haven't seen much people that play Fist Parry Dagger, but it is a thing. So with Fist, regular Fist, you want to go Strength Mantras. Things that can daze an enemy when you flourish them into the wall, or things that overall make your M1s do more penetration damage. With Fist Gun, it's kind of the same, but at the same time, you also want to be getting those talents like Vanishing Follow-Up. Vanishing Follow-Up, it works well on everything, but it can really bring something like Gun Fist to the next level. Fist Shield, you want to get the talent that readies your shield up way more quicker so that your parrying can be on par with whoever else you're playing with, because when you have a shield on anything, it makes your parrying a little slower than if you weren't equipping a shield at all. Mantras, you want to go with Fist. Now this is a wide range of things that depends on what type of playstyle you're playing, like I said before, and what build you want to get in the end, and your build can also affect this as well. The mantras you probably, or are the most common on Fist, is Flame, Ice, and Gale. I've seen Shadow and I've seen No Atonement before, but the ones that really do damage for some reason is Flame and Ice. Now the reason why Flame and Ice do the most damage is because Flame has this type of explosion path where most of your abilities will do explosion damage. There also is a move that engulfs your body within an explosive type of flame, and when it's either flourish or when you hit them, it explodes and does a bunch of damage. Depending on your flame, it can do even more damage. And there also is something in flame ability called Flame Wisp, which can heal you without you having to do anything. You just have to cast it and it'll heal you. It really is good for people like Fist users, which depending on the playstyle, if you're playing fast, it's really good, and if you're playing defensive, it's also good as well. It's a good atonement to have all around. Now, I've seen Ice quite a bit, and I think people go Ice because it really does lower the parry window of the person you're going against, and it does, depending on if you go Glass Path Crystallization, it can do a bunch of block break damage. And Fist does have a guaranteed block break if you have not gone any type of Postra talents. You want to make sure when you're going Ice Fist to get abilities that will go through enemy block. I mean, not all the time go through, like not guaranteed, but will hit most of the times. Like Ice Lasers, I've only seen that combo once on Fist, but it still works good. And Ice Eruption, where you can catch someone off guard, they won't be able to parry it, and if they block it, it'll go through, like it'll do chip damage. Now Gale is something I've seen which is really OP. One of my friends have played Gale Fist before, and they were completely unstoppable. That is because of World Without Song. Now this was before the nerf on World Without Song, where you need to cast about 3 mantras to put the effect on the person, but still the Fist was pretty broken. He had Fist Gun, and the agility that he gained and the Gale Leap also made his mobility even more faster. It made him more nimble to get around to places and catch up with people that were running away from him. Now the mantras that you probably would want to go on Fist Gale is Gale Wisp, and you also want to go something like Gale Lunge. Definitely Gale Lunge to catch your opponent. Now there are different type of play styles with Fists, and I know I said this in the beginning and you probably are wondering if I am saying the same thing again. No, I'm talking about there's a fast play style and there's a slow play style. The fast play style is mostly people who want to get their combos down quick and will run around to wait for their cooldowns. The slow play style is people who wait for the who wait for their opponent to exhaust their M1 to exhaust their mantras so that they can get their good hits in. Now, which playstyle is better? It really does depend on what your build is. Now, you would want to go a fast playstyle if your cooldowns are not long at all and you do a bunch of damage with your M1s. Fast playstyle is mostly M1s in succession with mantras. Slow playstyle is mostly used with mantras and a couple of M1s, but mostly mantras because you'll be waiting on your cooldowns most of the time. But with your fast playstyle, you'll mostly be relying on your fist damage and some mantras to help you to support you. But it does, like I said, depend on the magic and mantras that you're using. Fast playstyle, you could say fist Gale. Slow playstyle, you could say ice fist. Fists work as heavies. Blunt heavies. They block break on M2 depending on how much posture you might have. So when you're playing against somebody, depending on which style you're using, not the fast or the slow pace, I'm talking about actual fighting style this time. Depending on which fighting style you're using, you need to know when you want to use your M2. If you're using Way of Neve, you want to make sure you use your M2 to block break. And you want to know when someone will be blocking. It'll probably be a failed parry into a block, or it'll probably just be a straight up block. You want to make sure if you have mantras to weave in your mantras that deal insane amount of posture damage, cancel them out and then use an instant M2 so that you can most likely get a block break off. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, it's just a possibility. This is how most people play when they're, you know, in PvP. They want to parry something, but then if it gets canceled out, they get baffled and might roll the next move. If they roll it, it's fine. You still have your M2. Your M2 is probably the shortest M2 next to dagger within Deepwoken, so you want to make sure you're comboing it right, predicting if they're going to block or predicting if they're going to try to parry. If they do parry your M2, it's fine, but if they get block broken, you want to follow it up with M1 string and tip. And a tip that I forgot to tell you guys in the beginning, you want to make sure you put Finisher's Ring on your build, and depending on your build, if you're going agility, you want to make sure you get Vanishing Follow-Up. I don't know the name, the name of the next two, but I know they're M2s. I know there's just Karata, and I know that there's another fighting style. But with the fighting style that makes you suplex somebody, well, not suplex, but it kind of is like a suplex. But with that M2, you want to make sure you use it when you're behind them. The reason why I say that is because you can't block when you're behind someone. So you want to make sure that when you use it M2, you go behind them because it's basically a guaranteed M2. You don't want to use this M2 anywhere else because it can easily be blocked and parried. And I believe when you block this M2, it doesn't give you as much posture as if you were to block Way of Neve's M2. The other M2 of the fish style is kind of wonky. I really don't see it used that much. It like makes your it's like a aerial kick on the ground. I really don't see it used that much, but it does give you quite the bit of posture. You only want to use M2 probably to gain distance. It's basically like a Serpent's Edge M2, and probably for nothing else. Gain distance and probably get free posture in on the enemy when they're trying to run away or block you. But I don't see much other use for this M2. But remember that this is a guide video. I'm not telling you guys to become somebody else or change your build. I'm just giving you guys tips and tricks on how to play some of Fist and what would be good to go on Fist talent and atonement wise. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Subscribe to help me make more videos like this. It really does help. Like the video, comment down below if I missed anything or could have put anything in this video, and share this video with anyone who needs tips and tricks or needs a refresher on Fists. Have a nice day, guys, and see you guys within the next video.